You're listening to the PRO Media Network. The next level in entertainment.
Get ready. It's time for the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Telling you everything you need to know about the Saints, Pelicans, and a whole lot more.
What's up, sports family? What's going on with you? Y'all rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guy. And we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q, and on the line, we got DC chiming in, man. What's going on, DC?
Whoa, what up?
It's podcast, man. 271 on the Sports Coma, man. And we're going to be giving y'all guys the very jam-packed show. We're going to be previewing the Saints and the Eagles in this matchup. Saints and the Eagles go at it. We also have interviews we're going to play from Alvin Kamara. We're going to cover his comments that he made on the show. We're going to have Drew Brees' comments against those Philadelphia Eagles. We play that. DC's going to chime in with the injury report and let you know who's in, who's out. Coming up with this one, we also have predictions. We got the Sports Coma question of the day we're going to hit you with, and replies from the previous question of the day. And of course, our lovely topics that we always talk about, including Drew Brees. We're going to talk about Drew and his contributions and a few other things in today's show. So we're going to fire it up and get going. But before we get going in this podcast, I'd like to give a shout out to all the terrific established and new listeners of the shows. We constantly get new people because our family bringing in more family. I'd like to welcome all of you guys into today's topics and today's show as we're going to cover our beloved Saints. Without further ado, let's get right on into it. Saints got a very tough matchup coming up, man, very tough matchup coming up against the Philadelphia Eagles. We know that the Eagles always pose a threat against the Saints. Coming off a Super Bowl, this is a Super Bowl squad. They just won last year. Of course, a lot of people say, well, Q, man, if we done had that fluky play against Minnesota, we would have been in there. We'd have whooped on the Eagles. Guess what? I agree with you. I don't think the Eagles could have handled the Saints in what could have been an NFC Championship showdown there. I don't think they could have. But that's coulda, woulda, shoulda. The Saints are still on their revenge tour. They can show the Eagles and the rest of the NFL what time it is. What wins is they keep barreling ahead. I don't see anybody stopping them at this point if they keep playing with the same intensity, drive, and focus that they're exhibiting. Let's get right into the topics, DC. We're going to start off with the breakdown on this upcoming matchup. Now, going back to the previous matchup, the Saints faced off against the Eagles. A little history for you guys. And the Eagles got the best of the Saints, 39-17, back in 2015, with the Eagles coming out with the win, 39-17. Of course, this was a matchup back, and prior to that, it was the Saints getting the best of them in the playoff game when they beat them 26-24 to knock them out the playoffs. And prior to that, the Saints was on a 3-game winning streak against this team. Back in 2009, they knocked them off 48-22. In 2012, they beat them 28-13. 2014, they beat them 26-24. And then the Eagles returned the favor in 2015 by beating the Saints 39-17 in their stadium. This time around, the Saints coming into this one, and we still on that revenge tour, big time. Now, we're going to give the Eagles their respect because they're the Super Bowl champions. They got the hardware right now. And even despite some of the people saying that they're underrated, coming into this game, and that the Saints are the clear-cut team to beat them, let's not get it twisted. This is a Super Bowl team, and they got the starting quarterback back leading this team, and this guy's pretty good. 15 touchdowns versus 3 interceptions. But before I get into the statistics, let me let DC weigh on his thoughts about this Eagle matchup. Go ahead, DC. Give me your thoughts on it.
It's going to be a terrific game, man. Pretty much from the beginning of the game, I think it's going to be real tough. I don't think the Eagles are going to fold in the way the Bengals did. They're going to give us a game. But as it wears on, man, as most teams with the Saints, we just have the ability to outlast everybody. Our depth is pretty good. We're going to be without major offensive linemen, but I don't think that'll matter in this game, even though the Eagles have a pretty competent rush game, the same way we do. We have number 1 in the league. I believe they're at least number 2 or 3. They're not far behind us. They give up about 90 points a game. But I think the Saints are going to go ahead and mash on them still in the running aspects, and we still find a way to grind out about 140, 150 yards a game the way we do most of the time with Taysom Hill gadgets and whatnot. But the Eagles, to me, they don't stand a chance. Their quarterback's playing pretty good, but other than that, man, they look like a very desperate team. They look all over the place, and I don't really feel like they have a set identity. I know they had a lot of injuries, a major injury with Dyer, and I believe they had a few injuries on defense also. But they're not a team that really has an identity, and I think coming into Superdome with a midlife crisis is not what you want right now. So I think we're going to wind up looking more like the 2009 game, man. Maybe putting up about 35, 38 points on them, and then putting up maybe 20.
Going to the team statistics on this one, man, looking at the team statistics, the Eagles coming into this game averaging 22 points a game while giving up 20.3 points a game. The Saints averaging almost 37 points a game, giving up about 26 a game, which is very deceiving with that defense. Total yards given up by the Eagles, 393 versus 422 by New Orleans. Yards giving up through the secondary for the Eagles. Actually, the yards passing in offense through the air, 290 yards, and rushing 103 yards a game. The Saints are 295 and 127 rushing yards a game. Now, defensively, Eagles giving up about 379 yards a game, 285 of it through the air, and they're holding opponents to 93.4 on the ground. Saints giving up 391 total defense and 311 through the air. So you see where the weak link is. And, of course, 80 on the ground, which is tops in the NFL. Now, the Eagles coming off a 27-20 loss to the Cowboys recently. The Saints, of course, are borrowing away on an 8-game winning streak coming into this one. Before we get to the individual statistics, let's hear what Drew Brees had to say about the upcoming team, the 4-5 Eagles, as they come to the Dome. Here's Drew.
Yeah, I'm excited about him. I've known him for a long time. Our paths have crossed. Doing a bunch of things off the field. Played in a Pro Bowl together back when it was in Hawaii. So I don't know how many years ago, but known of him for a long time. Really heard a lot of good things about him, and been a fan of his just watching him on film. He's a very smart veteran guy who very fluid. I've seen him in a lot of different offenses really be successful both as an outside receiver, as an inside receiver. I think he's very versatile. There's a lot of things he can do. He's a big target, so big catching radius. And just watching him run today was pretty impressive. So I'm excited about having him.
So you still think he has a lot of gas left in the tank?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we talked for a while today, and he's excited to be here. We're excited to have him.
Drew, it's usually a matter of how fast a guy can kind of assimilate to the offense.
Yeah.
You get a sense of how fast Brandon can pick it up.
I think the good thing about a veteran guy is that majority of the time these are concepts that he's seen before and done before. They might be called something slightly different, so really then it just becomes a verbiage thing and maybe a little bit of memorization as to what we call it. But as far as how the route is run, where the hole is in the defense, why you're calling the route, what are you looking for, what are the adjustments off of it. These are things that a veteran receiver like him who has that type of experience knows. No, I mean, there's a lot of those things that you mentioned that equate to winning football, right? They probably go hand in hand with good decision making, right? Good productivity, scoring points, winning games, right? So at the end of the day, the objective is to win, but you got to understand what helps you get to that point, right? And all those things are factors.
Statistically, you're having one of the best seasons ever by a quarterback. When you're in it, I mean, does it really feel like you're having one?
No, just playing ball. Just playing ball, just trying to be a great decision maker, knowing that good things happen when I am.
Drew, what about completing 90% of your passes to Michael Thomas? It's like an unheard of rate. How can you complete 90% of your passes to a guy, and they're not all low percentage throws either?
Well, he knows when he gets open, I throw it to him. That goes for anybody. That's the job of the quarterback, right? Find the open guy, throw it to him. Give him a ball he can catch and do something with after the catch. Mike deserves a ton of credit. He's as competitive as they come. He's a game changer. He knows that I'm counting on him, and he knows when I look at him and he's the guy. He's going to get open, and so he'll fight like crazy to do that. And he's a great player. The great players have that gene, that that makeup, where when it's time to roll, it's time to roll, and they feel like they're uncoverable. It's a little bit of an invincible feeling. I love to watch them work during the week in practice. What you see on game day is what we see in practice every day.
That's Drew Brees chiming in on his thoughts. Let's get to some of the individual statistics. Carson Wentz, we just mentioned his stats: 191 for 269, about 2,100 yards for him, 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Drew Brees, 235 of 304. 2,600 yards for Drew Brees. Actually, yes, 2,600 yards, 21 touchdowns versus 1 interception. Absolutely amazing. Alvin Kamara is a top man. 122 carries for 546 yards, 11 touchdowns. And their top rushing back for the Eagles is, of course, Smallwood, 62 carries for 261 yards, 1 score. Top receivers for each team, Mike Thomas, 78 catches, 950 yards, 7 touchdowns. And then Zach Ertz is their top target, 75 receptions for 789 yards and 5 TDs. So they're having a very excellent tight end in Zach Ertz as he's developing a relationship with Carson Wentz. This to me, man, this is going to be one of those games where the Saints is just, I think I don't see the Eagles posing. I don't see them stopping the Saints. Struggling defensively.
They're strongest at against, I guess, a run. We pose probably the greatest threat to them to be able to overpower them. And where they would be strongest at would be in the passing game with that tight end Ertz. We probably got some of the best tight end coverage in the league, man. I know we give up a lot of passing yards, but the majority of our passing yards came from receivers. But they do have Golden Tate. So Golden Tate has been a Saints killer for a long time. So I don't see us totally shutting him down, even though he's only been with the Eagles probably like his second week, so might not fully know the offense. But Zach Ertz is definitely not going to just dominate us, man, with Anzalone out there and Demario Davis. And they have no running game. So it's like they're not going to be able to run the ball on us. We know you passing. And it's just going to put them in a horrible situation, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, that I couldn't have said any better. I'm looking at the statistics. I'm saying if they're going to have a chance against the Saints, it's all on Carson Wentz's arm to see if he can put stuff together. But the Saints up front, the front seven has got them completely locked down. Now I can see Dennis Allen kind of creating a system where they're going to cover Zach Ertz up like a blanket and force somebody else to beat him. And hopefully they can generate enough pressure to knock Wentz around back there. And it's going to be ruckus in the dome. Of course, this is going to be an afternoon game. Coming up this Sunday. So, man, it's going to be 73,000 plus screaming Saint Hoodats in the building. It's not going to be a easy day for the defending Super Bowl champions. DC, before we get into Alvin Kamara's comments, I want you to kind of break down the injury report for the family.
Well, first off, we're going to go with our usual one guy you already know is on here. We got Marcus Davenport. That shouldn't surprise anybody. So he hasn't practiced all week. Then another guy, everybody's seen it. You're not really happy about it. But on Sunday, Tyron Armstead did get hurt. He hurt his shoulder. It's a pectoral injury is what they're referring to it. I guess it's like a slight tear. They're saying he's going to be sidelined for 3 to 4 weeks, which is bad, but hey, it could be a lot worse. So we're going to be without him. Tyler Davidson is also questionable. And filling out the lineup, you have Andrews Peak questionable and Ryan Ratchek questionable. I'm guessing that's just rest. Our offensive line, shout out to them, man. I don't remember if we gave them a big ups last show. They've been playing amazing, man. So maybe this is rest because those guys been putting in work. Tyron Armstead, especially on Sunday, too. We've seen him. That was Carlos, I think. Dunlap, man, picked him up, threw him on the ground, man, and made some block. But that's going to be the injury report. We got a few guys on IR, Patrick Robinson, Ted Ginn Jr., Meredith, I don't know why I said Meredith, but Meredith and Tommy Lee Lewis has already returned, and he's practicing, so maybe we'll see him on Sunday.
Absolutely, man. No doubt about it, man.
Just wanted to shout him out again.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, they've been doing that consistently over the last span of games, dealing with these last 6 or 7 wins. So,
but we gift last week, though, man. We gifted a special week last week.
Every week is different. Every week is different. They put up 50. That's true. But there's more. This the highest praise you can give them and tell them they're the best line in pro football. That's a very high praise. There's no offensive line in the league touching the Saints for us top 5 when they're healthy. Best line in ball, no doubt about it. I would tell you what, excellent performance they put on against the Bengals. But I'm going to tell you, one that really impressed me was the performance they put against the Rams. That one was really solidified it and put people on notice to tell them this team, this offensive line, we've been saying that for some time, DC. We've been, you already know we're ahead of the curve on a lot of this stuff. And then you hear the professionals start giving them credit when the obvious things show up. Sometimes you have to have this. Most of these guys don't have the foresight to see, these things. They just wait till it happens so they don't look stupid saying it because everybody else is saying it. They won't reach themselves out on a limb like that. But anyway, let's get into some comments.
It's just like the rest of the people around the city, man. You got some people who diehard Saints fans, and some people who just like to sit back in the cut. 1 foot in, 1 foot out, try to be lukewarm, like Jesus said. But then when things start heat up, they won't jump on that bandwagon, man. You know what it is.
Let's talk about this. Alvin Kamara said, you know what? We're going to hold up on that. We're going to hold that for the next side of the break because I won't give that all of the attention it's due. The comments Alvin Kamara made about the Philadelphia Eagles last year. Of course, one reporter was asking about those comments, and of course he kind of rehashed it and opened it up, but more in a respectful manner, not something that you could put on a poster board to use as material. The Saints already know. They gave them the toughest schedule in all of pro football. You got all these playoff teams that you're facing. All these guys are tough games, and the Saints continue just to bash them in the mouth and knock them down. And then, I'm always mindful of what all of these other guys say. Of course, Stephen A. came out with his Stephen A's list, and of course he listed the Saints on his A list as third behind the Chiefs and the Rams, who the Saints demolished a few weeks ago. So once again, like I said, some of these guys, they're just who they are and what they are. They don't know your team like that. They just see them on statistics and whatnot. That's why I say when you see them saying stuff like that, just turn them off or slam them and turn the sports coma on because we know what we're talking about. But anyway, we'll come back on the other side of the break. We're going to finish up on our topics that we have. We're going to talk about Alvin Kamara's comments. We got Brandan Marshall. For the first time, he's going to chime in on the sports coma and give you his thoughts about being on the team. We got the sports coma question of the day, the replies from the previous question, all on the other side of the break. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us. You're listening to Sports Coma with Big Q and the Guy.
I'm a Saints and Pelicans fan, so the only podcast I can get my fix is the Sports Coma with Big Q. The guy's intense, funny, and they always keep it real.
Check out the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
What's up, sports world? It's Big Q. Talking at you from the PRO Media Network, letting you know that we're attempting to make things a lot simpler on our listeners and viewers of our mini podcast. So as a result, we're leasing down a lot of our shows to have their own channels for your convenience. Starting soon, shows like Ring King Box, LSU's Tough Tiger Talk, the Pelican Postgame Report will all have their own individual YouTube channels. So thank you for working with us during this process. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your donations and support for our platform as we continue to improve moving forward. Peace.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics. And autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
Hit the link below and rep the black and gold today. Who that? Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000, celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast in customer customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registers and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.
Follow the Sports Coma on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Welcome back to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, and we previewing the Saints and Eagles matchup coming up Sunday afternoon in the New Orleans Superdome, Mercedes-Benz Superdome to be precise, against the Eagles, in which the Eagles lead the all-time series against the Saints 17-13. Of course, the Saints can kind of chip away at that lead with a win in the Dome, and I think that's going to happen in a major capacity. But I'm not the only one that thinks that. DC's not the only one that think that. Besides you awesome guys out there, sports family out there, also Alvin Kamara believes the same thing. Here's what he had to say about the Eagles comment that he made last year. Here's Kamara.
You getting their best game?
No, I don't wonder. I mean, they're a Super Bowl team a year ago. They're still a good team, no matter what the record is. I mean, it's the NFL, and they got a good group of they got talent. They got talent. And they wouldn't have won last year if they didn't have the talent. We just gotta focus on us. Like I say every week, focus on us. Focus on what we got to do to win another game.
Has that been easier as it goes along when you have more and more success? Is it easier to be able to concentrate on yourself?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's easier when you're winning. I think it's easier to focus on what's going on inside of your building. When you're not, I think it's it's a lot of he say, she say, and guys start letting outside the building creep into the building. But I mean, we're good. We're fortified here.
Apparently, some of their leaders have kind of held on to something you said in the offseason about how if we had won in Minnesota, we would have killed the Eagles or something like that.
Nah, that's not what I said. What did I say?
Well, I'm paraphrasing, but apparently you felt like...
Say what I said. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go... Whatever, I don't care if we playing against the Monstars. My team, whatever team I'm on, I'm going to say we're going to win, period. And I guarantee you it's the same way. It's the same way with any other guy in this league that feels strongly about the team that they're on. It's no disrespect. It's no disrespect, direct disrespect to, I didn't call a name or call direct names. It's just my team against your team. I feel like that's all I'm going to say about that,
Alvin, are teams defending you differently now than they say were even earlier this season? Are they trying to do things to slow you down?
Yeah, I think so, but, I think we got the best quarterback in the game, and some of the best coaches in the game. Our schemes every week put us in position to make plays, and, we just try to take advantage, whether it's me, Mark, whoever, Mike T, anybody, Traquan, Kirkwood. First game last week, and he got in and took advantage of, some opportunities, some schemes that got schemed up for him. So
Kamara, man, letting you know in a major capacity, man. It's my team against your team, and big truck beat little truck every time, pretty much. DC, quick comments on Alvin Kamara's comments.
Alvin is a trip, man, but he kind of toned it down a little bit because what I heard, he said he was going to beat the bleep out of them in the NFC Championship game. But I like that. I mean, you're supposed to be confident like that. Of course, they felt they were robbed last year. Minnesota Miracle, even though it was our fault that we allowed that to happen. I mean, you still feel robbed, especially as an offensive player. You did what they did at the end of the game. So it's a hard pill to swallow, man. So seeing him touch on that, I think he's serious. And I think team's going to come out there and back it up as well.
Absolutely, man. The Saints, it's just, I don't know if I know a lot of people that listen to the show, they're in tune. That's why they listen to the show. A lot of the people feeling what we feel at that level, to understand that what you witness and the type of way the Saints are winning, they ain't blow out every team. But just the missed field goals by Cleveland, the mixed extra point by Justin Tucker, the best kicker in the league, besides our guy, of course. But Tucker misses his first ever extra point to give the Saints the win. In all the other ways, the Saints had some dominating performances against teams that some professionals said they shouldn't have done. A lot of people picked the Rams to beat the Saints. What the Saints do, beat the Rams. You know, the cleanup game, what they went into Minnesota and got revenge, sort of, against the Vikings. A few of these, and then with a masterpiece of a game and taking apart the Bengals, the Bungles, and they building, blowing the doors off of them. And then coming home to the defending Super Bowl champions. Not to mention we got the Pittsburgh Steelers on our roster. We still have 2 games against the Carolina Panthers, who just got the doors blown off them by Pittsburgh. But, you know, that's always a close matchup when we come to town. And then we got Atlanta and a few other teams. So I say that to say, if we're going to get to the Super Bowl, we got to go to some pretty tough teams to get there. And the Saints are making their just due right now. They're paying their dues right now to say, whoever you line up against us, we're going to come out and we're going to smash you in the goddamn mouth to make you understand this is not a game. You don't put a rookie quarterback's team ahead of my team, Stephen A., on the list. I have a Hall of Fame quarterback who's breaking records every week, and you put a rookie quarterback ahead of me, not a rookie, but you know, second-year quarterback in front of me, he's doing some good stuff. But that don't mean a hill of beans at the end of the day versus a Hall of Fame quarterback like Drew Brees. But it's okay. It's okay. Just remember, those guys don't know who your Saints truly are, and they won't know them until they continue to win and win and win. Then you'll see those jerks come on over to your side of the fence. You're starting to see a couple of jerks do it already. So just remember that when they touting the Saints phrases and all this nonsense, just remember to kindly tune them out, so to speak. But anyway, DC, thanks for your comments on Alvin Kamara, brother. Let's get into the Sports Coma question of the day. Of course, this one comes for DC. I can't take credit for it. Before, in the pre-production meeting, I said, well, DC, I'm stumped. We need a Sports Coma question of the day. DC said, how about this one? He said, is Drew Brees going to win the MVP this year? I said, that's perfect. Let's ask the Sports Coma family that question. And I'm pretty sure we'll get a lot of great comments on, is the man it? I mean, come on, talk to me, fam. Is Drew Brees? Look what he's done. Everything he's done. Is the Sports Coma question?
Tom Brady rule, man, because I remember one year, I think, was that last year or the year before last? Tom Brady won the MVP, but it was like, it could have went to another player, they had better stats and the whole nine, but, Tom Brady basically played the whole season. Carson Wentz, Tom Brady. So it kind of wound up tipping their hat to him, the veteran experience. The fact that Drew Brees ain't never had an MVP, man.
That's absolutely crazy to me.
They might have to bend the rules a little bit. It's absolutely insane.
That's insane.
He never won one.
That's absolutely, that's absolutely crazy.
It's kind of crazy. So I'm putting my name in the hat already now to let you know. I think you get it this year, man. He probably going to wind up having more touchdowns than he ever had. We got 6 games left. I see Drew Brees getting close to that 40 mark, about 40 touchdowns, man, with very few interceptions, and I think that's enough to bring it on home for him.
21 touchdowns and 1 interception through 9 games of play, breaking all kind of records. How could you deny it? This has definitely got to be his year. And what's even more astounding? The man's 39 years old and 6 feet tall in the League of Giants. And you got idiots yelling around talking about he looks like his accountant. I mean, it's just, to me, it's just really crazy. But anyway, before we get into the replies from the previous question today, we got some really good ones, and I appreciate everybody from chiming in. But if you haven't commented on the Sports Coma question today, get in there and talk to the family. Converse with us. Tell us what your thoughts are. We really want to know, and we will shout you out on the show. That's just how we do. Anyway, before we talk about getting to that, let's hear what Brandan Marshall, new Saint. I got Alvin Kamara on the mind. Orleans here is Brandan Marshall.
Awesome. That's a great thing about the NFL, you know what I mean? I've been on the top, and, I'm at the bottom right now, so the experiences that you get, the people that you meet, you can't get it anywhere else. The last few years just been fighting and plugging away, left the Jets, trying to pursue an opportunity like this, landed in New York, and things didn't go right for us there and end up getting hurt and on IR, and got an amazing opportunity to go to the Seahawks. That was an amazing experience. I just wasn't healthy enough, So when you're on the other side of 30 and you don't produce, this is the situation you'll find yourself in. So I'm excited and grateful for this opportunity. And I didn't want to be cocky. I don't know, because I've been in, pro-style offenses. I've been in offenses similar to this. I've been in the Wildcat a little bit in Miami. So I've done it all, So to me, it's just, it's offense, right? And I think what's really helping me right now is I've been in this system for 2 years with Coach Coma, who spent a lot of time here. So the running game was identical. And then Coach Trustman spent time here, interning and just being a shadow and other things that he was doing. So we did a lot of the things. When you talk about the splits, those little details, are the same. But then there's obviously things that, are different in the playbook, So there's some things that it's just memory, right? So just once you pick up the terminology, you'll understand where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there.
Can you still do it like you used to?
No, I'm done. I'm washed up. I went, what my film says the last, this year is what it is. So that's what.
What are the Saints getting out of you? What are the Saints getting out of you in this journey? 8 games left in the regular season. What do you want to give to this team?
Well, as of right now, I'm just learning the playbook. So I'll learn the playbook and we'll see what happens. Coach does a great job of putting guys where they're supposed to be. So when I get that assignment, then I'll let you know. But right now, it's just learning the playbook.
What has this week been like for you emotionally? I mean, last week you work out, then they signed Dez, and now you're back signed with the team. Has it been a little bit of a roller coaster, thinking you may get signed and then not, and then them calling back again?
Yeah, it's been interesting. Like I said, I spent so much time, most of my career as the guy and on top, all Pro Bowl guy, and being cut 2 times in a year is interesting. It built a lot of character, and I've always been a guy that handles adversity well, and or maybe not. And early on in my career, didn't do a great job. But what I mean by handling adversity, I always pick myself up. You know what I mean? So I never complain or whine. I just do what I got to do. And in this situation, when Seattle cut me, I just continued to work out, stay in shape, and have faith. Made a few phone calls. To see if someone can pull a favor to get a workout, and I knew once I worked out in front of whoever, I would look good. I was healthy. I'm healthy now and ready to roll.
That's Brandan Marshall chiming in, family. You heard what the man said. He's been an all-pro wide receiver. He's had 9 different offensive coordinators. He's played with a bevy of different teams. And you got to give a man credit. At one point in his career, he was one of the top 5 best wide receivers in the league. The guy is, of course he's not at that peak anymore. Of course he's on his decline. But the crazy part about the Saints offense, we don't even need him to be that. If he can just be half of what he was, that's good enough to win in New Orleans, because pretty much all he's going to be doing is catching, blocking, like DC astutely mentioned. And of course that popped up in the article. We both said. Number one, I said he's a red zone threat. And of course Coach Payton came out a day or 2 later and said, he's going to be a red zone guy that we're going to go to. We said that. And of course the blocking situation, that was quoted too as well in several newspaper articles, how good Brandon Marshall's blocking is. But, it don't take a rocket science or quantum physicist to understand. You just put the damn tape on and look at it. It's football, man. DC, what you think about Brandon Marshall's comments?
For one, you can look at him and see, man. The dude is
6'5",
huge.
240 pounds.
230, man. That's wow.
Right.
But he seems excited, man. Excited to come here and play, and I think that's a big thing. And he touched on him being a role player. He's made a lot of comments since he's been here. He said he's fit as a fiddle.
Fit as a fiddle.
And healthy
as a trout. Where he grew up? Where that man grew up, in the middle of Mississippi somewhere?
Well, I think he's playing on words. He's trying to find something around with Trout, because he just came from being a Seahawk, so he's messing around with the whole fish idea. But to me, it's like a poetic shot at the Seahawks for cutting him. He was saying that he wasn't healthy, and that's why he's been playing horrible from last year to this year. Because prior to last year, prior to him going to Giants, this guy had 15 touchdowns, man. At what, 30, 31, 32? That's 15 touchdowns. So I think he can come in and contribute and give a lot more than what people are expecting. But it's only going to happen once everybody tries to put the clamps on Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara.
Big time, man. The Saints offense has a way of taking wide receivers and really kind of using their best attributes in the certain packages Sean Payton rolls out, and then getting everybody involved in keeping the flow, the offense is free flowing. And it's hard to match up against Sean Payton's offense because you never know who's going to get the big game experience. You come out, look at shutting down Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram dings you up. You might look at doubling down on Mike Thomas and Ben Watson kicks your butt. You know, you never know who the Saints can bring in to do some damage. Traquan Smith might get you. Brandan Marshall definitely going to get you. 6'5", catching everything in the rear. I think
Brandan Marshall going to open it up for Traquan, too.
It could be, because he can mentor him. And like you made the astutely mention about the SF connection. Boy. Right. That's huge. UCF. Right. The UCF connection is huge and not to be underestimated. But let's get right into our Sports Coma previous question of the day. Let me say the current question today is an excellent DC throughout there. Is Drew Brees this year's MVP? Comment. Let us know, and of course we'll read the replies on the show. I could just hear a lot of our Greek family now going at it. But let's get to the replies from the previous show, the previous question of the day.
Big Q, before you do that, I just want to let you know, man, I forgot to tell you in the injury report, your boy, Mitchell Lohan, back at practice today, man. So big shout out to him. Hopefully we can see him on the field Sunday.
We'd love to see him, man. You know, of course, Marcus Davenport down. We can really use, finally, because he's been hurt for some time. A lot of people don't know too much about Mitch Lohan, but it's this guy is.
They know he picked that car up downtown
yes,
to help save somebody's life. I think a lot of people read that story.
They did hear that, man. He has the heart of a champion. This guy has a nonstop motor. He gives 100% every effort, and I don't know how much the guy will play. Hopefully he'll get some meaningful snaps because of the injuries to Davenport and to kind of lighten the load with some of our guys that we have. Mitchell Lohan is definitely a tremendous talent to have on a defensive line. So appreciate that piece of information, DC. Here we go with the question, the previous question of the day comments. Now the question of the day was from the previous show: are the Saints going to the Super Bowl? That was the question posed to our great Sports Coma family out there. And, of course, they really chimed in. We got a lot of love for this one. I'm expecting double the love on the current question, but here's the previous one reply. Morpheus Neo, he's a new commenter. What's up, Morpheus? Glad to hear you. He obviously is a Matrix fan. is keen to me. Morpheus Neo chimed in. He says, just found you guys last week. Love the podcast. Keep bringing it. Who that, baby? As far as our question goes, my answer is yes. And the reason I say this is because prior to the season, I made a point to tell multiple people that the Saints are going to win the Super Bowl. So when it happens, I was on the record prior to the season. I was nervous after the first two games, but since the Atlanta victory, the offense is unstoppable. Defensively, we've gotten better and better. With the way the league is now, most teams will give up yardage. As long as the Saints can every now and then make a few stops on defense, they can outscore anyone. And if the turnovers keep coming, I think the Saints will win the Super Bowl. Appreciate it, Morpheus. And Morpheus chimed in, got a lot of love for that one, man. Appreciate the comments from you, my friend. And keep them coming. Glad to hear him. He's a new commenter on the show. Sean C. chimed in. What's up, Sean? He chimed in. He said, what up, Big Q? DC. Yeah, we going to the Super Bowl. This team is special. The Ryan Clarks of the world forgot that we have beaten the division leaders of multiple divisions. We've scored against the best. We're going to get that man beat up. That man won't even be able to come back here. We're going to get that guy beat up. And when we scored against the best defense in the league.
You said it, man. He's just glad. He mad because they ain't draft him, bro. You know.
Yeah, I've been saying that. We look right past him.
Hometown dude, man. Right out of Gretna, bro. He watched Saints all his life like the rest of us.
Right. That's what it is. He got a second grudge because they ain't draft him. And then when they Pittsburgh got rid of him, we had the opportunity to get him there. I think the Redskins went and got him. Saints said, we don't need you. We got Vaccaro. He got a little grudge going on. I can tell you. But anyway, here go back to that question. We scored against the best defense in the league while maintaining the best scoring offense. All of the best teams leak yards in the running game except us. And last but not least, we can win a number of ways anywhere you put us. This is our year. Thank y'all for this awesome podcast. I've now become a Patreon member to the show. Show y'all love. Keep up the great work. Man, Sean, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. And hopefully we can get some more of a great Sports Coma family to help out with that. Remember, guys, when y'all go to Patreon and donate, that helps our work right here so we can continue to grow the family and the platform so we can keep having these great discussions and ultimately move into what we're looking at doing, which is the Sports Coma Live, where people can call and you can chat and all that. That'll be a lovely display, and we really working and getting closer and closer, and y'all funds will help us get there a lot faster. So thanks, Sean C, and hopefully he'll be an example to the rest of our family to kind of join in that as well. Going to our next comment, Marvin Norman chimes in. What's up, Marvin? He said, I thought we could easily have won the Super Bowl last year until we had like 22 players on injury reserve going into the playoffs.
Hey, Marvin, confident now, huh?
Yeah, and he hitting you with the stats too. We fortified our weaknesses during the offseason. We have talented backups this year, less injuries. We for sure will win the Super Bowl this year. Brandon Marshall is still an upgrade. He's no Dez Bryant, but for sure will make defenses honor his presence on the field. Thanks, Marvin. That was a real excellent comment. Marvin, yeah, big time comment by Marvin. Thank you, brother. Travis Johnson. What's up, Travis? He chiming in. He says, after every game, I love to listen to y'all podcast. I wish y'all did it live and took phone calls. That would take the show to another level. We listen as fans, but I can see.
Working on it.
I can see y'all. We can see y'all and interact with y'all. This show would be number one of all the Saints fans, hands down, bro. Travis Johnson showing a lot of love, man.
Appreciate that, Travis, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, Travis, man. Good, appreciate it, bro. We working toward it, my man, and we gonna get there, my brother. We just, like we saying, we gonna get there.
Hopefully, let's set a date, man. You think we can get this together by the playoffs? Hopefully.
Oh well, in the next 2 weeks. The sports, let's break that news out there, DC. Thank you for reminding me. In the next 2 weeks, the Sports Coma will be live, family. So just remember to keep contributing and do, whatever you can help helps the show come along. And soon, in the next 2 weeks, the show will be live with chat and everything. So y'all guys just keep on with the support. Thank y'all. Thank you, Travis, for chiming in. Next comment is from Tramal Kellop. Tramal chimes in. He says, Kurt Coleman is my thumbs down player for getting faked out and letting Cincy back up QB run for a TD. You know what? Tramal is absolutely right, man. And I think I replied
didn't even think about Kurt, man. Did Kurt give us a good game this year?
No. And
I can't think of one thing he did where I was like, wow, man, that was a hell of a play. I'm sure he made a few stops before first down or something, but I can't think of a big play that he made on here, man. He need to give some of his money back, man.
I mean, he definitely do, man. You was trying to get AJ Klein out of here, and we needed to been looking at the other Panther guy that brought in Kurt Coleman. But look, that's Nick 504 commented. He said, I don't even understand how and why he's still on the team. Constantly taking bad angles, always missing tackles. They're not using him how he was used prior. They basically got him doing exactly what Vaccaro was doing. Do I need to say Vaccaro was way better at doing it? Nick 504 comments. Appreciate it, Nick. I can make everything I love die. That's a very interesting tag there. He said, to be fair, that was the entire defense. Credit should be given to the Bengals for a good play call, but that was also with most of the backups out there. So, yeah, but Kurt Coleman definitely playing like a backup, man. And he's definitely, if you think about it, and I commented back on the comments, and I said that he's got to be the most disappointing player the Saints have this entire season, no doubt about it, how he's been playing, man. They expected him to come in and take Von Bell's job, and only Von Bell did was keep him as an expensive paperweight on the back end of the defense. I guess it's good to have a veteran in that capacity, but not at that price tag. So, yeah, I think you're right. He probably might end up giving some money, but you never know. He might be coming on a little slow, and he might twist it up, so you never know.
Still might be better than Eric Reed because the NFL looks like they got it out for him.
You know what I think, DC? You know what? I'm going to be honest with you about the Kurt Coleman thing. I was excited about it, but I also said this in previous shows that the Saints went shopping for safeties too early. The free agency market had great safeties, and the Saints went shopping for Kurt Coleman right before free agency period started. They decided he was the first new player signee on the team, and if they had waited and been patient to wait, they would have gotten probably a younger and faster, dare I say, better free safety than what they paid for a guy.
I don't really think that's what they wanted, Q. I think they wanted a veteran. I think that's why they signed Kurt Coleman.
Trey Boston.
Him getting thrown out of that game was crazy, man. But they had other guys. That's the guy I was saying. I thought Trey Boston would have been perfect. I couldn't believe we didn't give him a shot. I mean, for what we paid Coleman, I think we could have got him.
Maybe from the aspect that he's pushing both those guys to be motivated, to be threatened by the position. So that you could look at it a glass half full mentality.
Well,
comment.
They say he helps them too. You know,
I bet you
him helping them with a lot of stuff. So behind the scenes, I think he's doing an excellent job with mentoring those guys.
We know he's recorded as a good locker room presence. You know, he's a heavy religious man, and he's very grounded and stable. So much respect in that capacity he could be given. Now, you know, his production on the field, that's a whole nother matter. Next comment, Rendell Bartholomew chimes in. Rendell Bartholomew's in the building. What's up, Rendell? He says, what's up, fellas? Boy, the Saints are really creaming the competition this year, huh? And I'm loving it anyway. I still don't know if the Saints will make the Super Bowl this year. It's all too early to tell. But nonetheless, they're certainly a very good. But they're in a very good position to make a serious run this year. The Saints team is extremely loaded and talented. Before the year started, I had the Saints winning 14 games this year. But right now, it looks more like 15 instead. LOL. Saints earned home field. It's over. Love how the team is getting better every week as a whole. Maximum effort, mental execution leads to maximum efficiency as a team. The Saints certainly possess the ingredients of a championship ball club. These guys look dialed in. Come playoff time, I'll give my thoughts on the potential participants for the Super Bowl. Personally, I think the old team, the New England Patriots, will be there for one final time. That's unless, of course, some other AFC opponent surprises us instead. Anyway, I can't wait. Who that? Big ups to Rendell. Thank you for chiming in there, Rendell. Appreciate the comments, my man. And very interesting, bro. We're going to see. But I think the Saints definitely going to be there. Next comment, John Lister. His quote is chiming in. What's up, John? He says, what y'all know good? I love y'all show. I'm a lifelong fan, but about them talking heads, it's been said that they're going to say stuff that's controversial because that's what sells. So whenever we get drove, they did their job. Like we all know, Brees is never going to get the respect that he deserves, and that's cool because he knows the NOLA and the entire boot love him. Same way we champion Colston, speaking of which, the only one that speak highly of Colston is John Gruden. But who that? When that? Believe that. That's John Lister chiming in. Appreciate you, John. He says, hashtag keep marching.
No, John.
Hashtag A baby. Hashtag A baby.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby.
All right, dog. Appreciate you, John, for chiming in, my man. Keep it coming, bro. Yeah, you're right on them talking heads, man. You know, we that's a bunch of them, man. Chris Carter, Stephen A. It's a couple of them guys, man, that we can lambaste quite easily. You know, when you're talking about teams and you don't have you're not doing your full research, and I know your ass ain't doing the full research because I'm listening to what you're saying, and it's just like skin level at the top epidermis of the skin level information. There ain't nothing deep of digging into it. So you're not gonna
talk about no hairline, all forehead having Stephen A?
Nah, George Jefferson.
Top 5 with the Saints ranked number 3.
Well, this is the thing, man. I've already said.
George Jefferson, thank you about
George Jefferson's son don't know what the hell he talking about. Stephen A is a basketball guy. You talking basketball, I respect his mind on basketball. But when it come down to football, Stephen A don't know what the hell he talking about. No serious football fan will put the Chiefs ahead of the Saints right now. Come on, man. But anyway, let's get on. Keep going. Walter Theodore. He said, what's going on with you, Walter? He said, what up, Q? And yes, we can win if we stay focused. What I don't like is these couch football bandwagon fans. Some of them are idiots. Like some of us, we could see some dog in some players. I said for Pierre Thomas, Willie Seeds, Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara. You just see that dog in them. Brandan Marshall have that dog in them. Watch what I tell you, Big Q. He's going to ball out. Just what we need. A true Who Dat fan. That's right. Walter, what's up, baby? Appreciate the comments, my man. And yeah, you're right. A couple of these fans are nincompoops. Three Stooges were. Just don't understand, right? They listening to people like Stephen A.
We got fans that used to losing, man. So they have a losing mentality. They always looking for the bad thing to happen. They don't know when they win, even when they're winning, man. They always looking for something horrible. They're going to get to the playoffs and they're going to lose again like they did to Minnesota.
Well, you know what you do? And I'm going to tell each and one of our great people out there what you do when you hear somebody say something stupid like that. You just look at them, turn around, and walk away and leave them in their stupidity. Or her and her stupidity, whoever they are. Leave them alone. Just turn around and walk away from them. Soldier for God chiming in. He says, thanks for showing love. Big Q, keep up the good work. Who that? Thank you, my man. Appreciate you for commenting as well, my brother. Appreciate you. DJ Austin chimes in. He said, with Brandan Marshall with our offense, a.k.a. Dez Bryant, get well soon, I believe so. With the addition with Apple on cornerback, I have a high percentage of the Saints going to the Super Bowl. But my question of the day to you is, do you think Dez Bryant gets a ring if we go to the Super Bowl and win? And I think I answered DJ.
No doubt, man.
Yeah, no doubt, DJ. He gonna get one. You know what, though?
He on IR on, man. We not.
He's a member of the team. He's an official member of the team. The Saints won the Super Bowl this year. He gets a ring. But you know what? I think he would treat that ring like Jeremy Shockey. If you go back and remember, when the Giants won their first Super Bowl when Shockey was on the team, he was hurt that year. When he got to the middle, toward the playoffs, he got hurt before he went to the playoffs, and he was on that team. They gave him a ring. Jeremy Shockey basically didn't, he liked the ring, but he didn't felt like he earned the ring. So it's like he didn't look at it the same. So when Shock won the Super Bowl with the Saints and he got that ring meant more to him because he actually was there for the duration of it. I think that's the type of effect that will happen with Des Bryant when they win that Super Bowl ring. It'll give him an opportunity to come back and play harder for the upcoming years, more of an incentive to come back and get it done with the Saints. So yes, indeed, he'll get that Super Bowl ring. Going to the next comment, LaPrinceton Xavier Poindexter. That's a long name. He's chiming in. What's up there, LaPrinceton? What people don't realize is that the last time the Saints were 5-0 on the road, they won the Super Bowl, and that's pure facts. Some of the commenters continue to show disrespect toward the Saints, but this team is on a mission. LaPrinceton Xavier Poindexter got a long name, and it's a real smart name. And I'm going to tell you something. He got a long name, but he got excellent comments, too. That's very true, and a lot of people don't realize
that. We got 2 more wins to go, man, and we're going to match 2009. We had 7 that year.
That's right. 2 more. That's right. We're going to get it, man. Going up to our next commenter, it says Jared Carey chimes in. He said 53 men showed up to the police department and filed rape charges against the Saints.
Oh, man, that's messed up.
That's messed up against the Bengals, man. Also, they was pissed off about that broken fire alarm, so let's throw that in there, too. Lance Kelly chimes in. He said, yes, Saints, we're going to the Super Bowl. This is a magical season. Thank you, Lance, for chiming in. Appreciate it, buddy. Pain Music Incorporated says, thanks for speaking the truth. Thanks for listening, Pain Music, man. Thank y'all for chiming in the game. Also, the video game boys with Music Now chime in. They gave a thumbs up to the show as well. And, of course, that's my sons. They chiming in, listening to the Sports Coma. So big ups to them. So we get love all the way around, man. The Sports Coma family, my blood family, everybody chiming in, everybody's happy. And that'll do all the comments, but thank you guys for chiming in. Remember, the Sports Coma question of the day for this show is going to be, is Drew Brees going to win the MVP this year? Very simple question. Give me your answer. Tell us what you think, and then, of course, we'll read it on the next show. So that'll do it for today's show. From me and DC, we'd like to thank all of our new and established listeners for listening to the show. And as always, if you want to show the show some love and some respect and it's a little financial support to get us closer to our mission of doing a live broadcast to reach out to everybody, feel free to go to patreon.com/the PRO Media Network and donate. Join up and be a contributor. You can do a one-time donation, or you can sign up for a monthly contributorship, whatever you can do to help out the podcast. You can also go and sign up for our social media family. The links in the description section below. You can also show another way of supporting us by supporting our sponsors. Those links in the description section below. And as always, from me and DC and the entire crew at the PRO Media Network and the Sports Coma, thanks for listening. Peace.
Peace.
Straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Thank you for listening to the Pro Media Network, who provides hours and hours of free edutainment to you and yours. If you are benefiting positively from our content, please donate to help us grow our platform by going to www.patreon.com/the Pro Media Network. That's www.patreon.com/the Pro Media Network. And support the true independent artists.
Tea is your escape. It's your opportunity to create a moment for stillness, for reflection, for yourself. It's your connection to a world of senses, flavors both exotic and familiar, energizing and relaxing. It's your retreat from an increasingly turbulent world. It's the perfect paradox of simplicity and complexity. Teabox.com connects tea to people, uniting the richest flavors of the finest teas with the curious, the cultivated, and the adventurous all over the world. The freshest tea you've ever tasted, from crop to cup. There's simply no simpler way to experience the wonderful complexity of tea. Tea Box, packing up the freshness. Tea thrives on freshness, and so do they. Tea Box temperature and humidity control facility ensure that tea is maintained. The teas themselves go into oblique bags with aluminum layers that protect them from excess moisture and light. With Tea Box, shopping for fresh, loose leaf tea is easy because you make an informed purchase. You know exactly where your tea is coming from. So for the freshest teas in the world, check out teabox.com. That's right, teabox.com. Check the link in the description section below. Go to newfrog.com for all of your electronic gadget needs. Fast becoming #1 online seller of cell phone and accessories, consumer electronics, automobiles and motorcycles, home and garden items, 5D diamond painting crafts, electrical and tool supplies, computer and networking supplies, lights and lighting supplies, sports and travel items, toys and hobby supplies, apparel and accessory, mother and kid items, health and beauty items, and much, much more. Newfrog.com has up to 70% off on some products. And you can check out their weekly promotions for all the best deals. Remember, when thinking online electronics and gadgets, think New Frog. Newfrog.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Vapor DNA is the absolute premier online vape store, offering an industry-leading selection of e-cigarettes, e-liquids, and accessories. Our friendly and knowledgeable customer service team is always ready to provide the best customer service experience to ensure you find what you're looking for. We guarantee our vaping gear shop products to be 100% genuine and the lowest price. We are so confident in our selection and our customer service. We will offer our customers a 45-day refund policy. That's right, a 45-day refund policy. We are proud of this offer for 3 simple reasons: quality, selection, and price. And that is the reason you should choose Vapor DNA for all your vaping needs. That's www.vapordna.com. Again, that's www.vapordna.com.
In today's world, children are bombarded with negativity on television, online, and at school. Our kids need to have a positive outlook on life and the world around them. I want to share with you a valuable resource you can use to bring positivity into your child's life. It's the new book, 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. This is a simple guide loaded with wonderful and inspirational affirmations designed to uplift young people's spirits. This positive and powerful children affirmation is chock full and loaded with wonderful inspirational sayings that will lift your child's self-image to whole new levels through the awesome power of spoken word. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. Available on Amazon. Order a copy for yourself, your child's teachers, or anyone you know with children. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image. Order your copy today.
What's up, Sports World? The PRO Media Network is on a mission to reach 10,000 subscribers. So besides our regular programs like the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, the Pelican Post Game Report, Rapid Fire TSC, and others, we will be expanding out and offering other content like movie, anime, and gaming reviews for your entertainment. So if you enjoy our content, please donate at our Patreon page. Also subscribe, comment, and share, and help the PRO Media Network reach 10,000 subs. Peace.